first season of Duckhook. I've enjoyed it very much. Highlight was this the community that was created. Bunch of nice guys.
I think winning the last event was pretty great, pretty up there. But I think going back, it wasn't a win, but I think it was a 32 that I shot on Reading coming in. I think that's definitely the highlight of my season.
This might be difficult for you. What was the highlight of your season?
I would definitely say it was the win at Harton. I didn't expect that, didn't think I was in the running, didn't look at the scoreboard or anything. And I played well that day, so that was the highlight.
Kicking off the season, starting, being fit, an unexpected win at Royal East, and definitely making it to the semi-finals in the team knockouts.
The victory at Jackal Creek, and then secondly, that's reaching the finals of the team knockouts. Didn't expect that.
Whole season's been a highlight for me. Of the two wins that I've had, the one at Royal West just before it closed, and then also the one last week at ERPM. I think those were two good. And then obviously the Sunday League. So it's been a good season for me.
The players, it was a good major at that stage, and finishing with the eagle and a birdie the last two holes.
Highlight of the season would be for me qualifying for 3 of the 4 majors. Made it a point to try and get better at it. Handicaps come down, but next year the aim is to start contending for one of the particular leagues. Yeah.
Centurion, I played a good game there, and that helped me to stay as long as possible in the top 10. Fell out and came back, so 5th year in a row in the top 10 for a Sunday League. I'm happy.
Neville, highlight of your 2022 season.
Maz, it has to be making it through to the final, getting into the Summer Cup. It's been a tough season and a lot of ups and downs, but we're here now.
Definitely winning at a big margin there at Huddle Park. I think it was the day when my golf clicked, and ever since I've been building on that, and the handicap is coming down, so I will earmark that as my season best.
First one was the win at Modderfontein earlier the year, and then the absolute best one has to be Benoni Lake when I shot 10 under, personal best of 86. That was phenomenal.
Of course, yeah, because that was one of the first top 20 I ever got in Duckhook, and then also for me at Highland Gate, because that was one of the times I got closest to the only one ever in my life.
Highlights of the season, winning the Masters, in contention, came second on the players, and also at a high at the Classic. So I had 3 very highs.
My highlight of the season is definitely Highland Gate Tour.
Without a doubt, the Classic at Highland Gate.
It was just a joy meeting the new Oaks, really loved it.
It was one of the most enjoyable ones I had so far.
I've got to say, Tour is definitely the best, and for any of the other guys, Tour, you've got to do it. It's definitely the highlight of the season, I think, for many guys.
Good evening, gentlemen. Yes, another Duckhook show. No, don't get confused. And it's Monday today. It's not a Wednesday as we normally do it. But we had to come on a bit earlier so we can get a jump start on the shootout that's coming up this Sunday. It all starts this Sunday. 4 teams, lots of bragging rights. And I'm sure most of you are watching because you want to know who are the pairings and who's playing who at the shootout. So we'll do a nice preview for you, and then as mentioned on the description, we've got some rules that we're going to go through that has changed and our thoughts on it, and then we're going to catch up on how the match plays are going, the entries for the teams, and so on and so on. So thank you for watching. I already see that we've got a host of guys watching. It's always a pleasure, and I hope that this season treats you well, and I hope everybody manages to get a victory, and that it can only be better than what last year is. Then you can't go wrong. I'm not alone, as always. I've got my panel of captains with me. I've got the Thursday series captain, Jandre. I've got Richard, Sunday 1. Donnie, sitting in the middle as the Barbarians, and Sunday 2. Hello, boys. How are we?
Good. All good.
Good. We ended 2022 with the 5 of us, and we're starting 2023 with the 5 of us. Donnie, I wanted to shoot a question first to you. Talk us through your PB at Michali's. For those who don't know, how much did you shoot?
That was a nice little gross 64 on the card.
64.
Yeah, Maz, I must say, obviously, it's like I like playing that Maghali's Holiday Classic. So the first round we played off the ladies' tee, and it was balls to the walls, taking driver everywhere, not worrying to play solid, good golf. But yeah, the next day was just literally, I played Maghali's, I think the way it should be played. So it's like where I had to hit the fairway, I rather went the fairway route instead of taking Tiger line. And like I had two sessions where on each nine I actually had 3 birdies in a row, and that just jump started the round. Luckily, my aim in corner number 8, hole number 8 and 9, I made pars, which was quite interesting. It was tough ones, but missed the putt for 63 on hole number 10.
You see, you had 2 good sessions. But you almost had sections. I'm sure you would have preferred 2 good sections during your round of golf.
Yeah, well, sorry.
Chandra, how's your December been? You ready to go?
No, very good. I went down to the coast, played a bit of pinnacle in the wind. It was quite interesting.
Yeah.
A bit of handicap management going on there, but it was a good experience playing down there.
Great. And did you meet up with Frikkie at all? Because Frikkie's been all over the place. He went on a massive, what do we call it, George tour.
Yeah, I didn't even know that he was there, Mazo. I'm going to put some thorns into his back now. So, we normally communicate with the Duckhook guys when we're down there, but it looks like he's a silent guy, eh?
Richard, shoot any 64s while you were on holiday?
No, very quiet from a golfing perspective. Holiday with the family, ran around South Africa, seeing different things. Very much a tourist in South Africa in December, but working quietly in the background to shoot a 64 in this coming Sunday.
Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, boys, thank you so much for all the messages on the side. I would put them, I'm going to put a couple in. Wayne says, wow, some of the season highlights is some of my goals, something to work on. Those were nice to recap our season highlights from last year, and I hope that all your goals for golf come true this year. My only goal is to win a series event. Other than that, I don't care. Louis Jensen, good evening all. Wishing you a great golfing 2023. Thank you, Louis, and we're looking forward to see you back on course. Peter Zach is very excited with plenty exclamation marks and emojis. Looking forward to the new season. I'm sure you are playing the shootout, as most of the guys who are here. In relation to your 64, Steve says, cut him. Were you cut?
Steve, I was going to play the shootout off like a 2 or 3. I'm now playing most probably with a 0. So I have been cut.
Giving us a chance. Rudolph says, well done, Donnie. And Wayne says, well done. Rudolph asked, did you play Samola, Frikkie?
I didn't. I did play Pazula for my 100th game.
Nice.
I was privileged to play with Jaco and Davy. So, and actually had a decent round, a 76 there. So, it was lekker.
And I'm glad to see I'm not the only one trying to win something. Paul Ricketts also would love to win a series game. We can do it. We can do everything. All you guys know how to win. Except us. Okay, shall we get started? Before we move on to the shootout, I've got a couple of... Yes.
Sorry, just the next question. So since nobody got the tattoo because of you guys, like between you guys, are we going to go for round number 2 this year?
You see, we kind of said we would do it, even if it's a tie. But if we do round 2, I don't mind. It's just another 365 days to get through. Frikkie, what do you say?
No, Mazo, I'm still looking at that tattoo, so I believe we're still going to do that. So no more competitions, or if we do a competition, it will be additional one. So yeah.
Okay. Frikkie says, I've got a place around the corner from him. My first question was, can you send me some of his artwork? Because I don't trust you much.
I will.
Mazo, I agree with you. People on the Woestrand, I don't trust them there as well.
Yeah.
Your duck will end up looking like a chicken.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Check hook dog golfers. You can't even say it. What's happening in January, boys? Well, besides the shootout, which is happening this Sunday coming, the 3 series games is rushing towards us. Wingate on the 9th of January. Sunday, Series 1 at Parkview. This field is filling up very quickly, so please, if you haven't booked yet, and if you're new watching the show, welcome for the first time. If you haven't booked yet, you need to get your names in. I think there's only 8 spots left, and there's still some time to go. Sunday Series 2 at Killarney is also filling up very quickly. So guys, let's get our season started right. If you still haven't booked, go ahead and book it. It's always easy. When it comes out, just put your names down, and then we don't have to worry too much. So yes, lots to look forward to. But there's some other things I want to touch on, and that is some of the sponsors that have come on board this year, which is fantastic. Obviously, Strixon have signed up once again to sponsor the Player of the Season and the series champions with their golf balls. So I'm going to play this just to give them their airtime. This is what we're all playing for at the end of the season. And if you're wondering, Strixon have given us even more for this year to play for, so that's exciting. Donnie, did you shoot that 64 with your new clubs?
Of course, yes, Maz.
Nice. There's a
It's
good
it was as soon as I got them, they were straight into the bag. So it was leading up to that nice little 64. So yeah.
Well done. So you're not like Frikkie, who just useless when he gets new clubs.
Yeah, let me tell you, it's like there's no excuses. You know, I've made it proper custom to me. You know, Frikkie was just hung up on his starter set.
The things that Frikkie got were nice. I think they're very, very nice clubs.
Yes.
Well, you have a special base of that clubs, eh? Shut up, man.
Very close.
If you don't know, Richard's got Frikkie's clubs, and he won 3 tournaments, or 2 tournaments in a series. So poor Frikkie.
Yeah. And Frikkie shoots, like I said, his PB and he gives it away.
Not only is there a Player of the Season at the end, but there's also this to play for. So did you see that? The mid-season. So July, we are giving away a Strixon hamper for the person who's leading the Player of the Season rankings, because it does change. I don't think there's somebody up front or halfway through tends to win it, because there's always somebody who will come and catch them. So there is even more to play for. Then, let's go to some of this. The Masters, gentlemen, the qualifying starts now. When we get to Thursday series, and we're qualifying for the Masters, a 3-month cycle, and the Masters is sponsored by Glenfiddich, everybody. The champion will walk away with the Glenfiddich Adidas tour bag. How nice is that?
That's awesome.
That
Well,
is
very
proper.
great.
But what I really like is the top 5 will earn a seat in the Glenfiddich's guest list with your partner, so your girlfriend, your wife, to experience the world's most awarded single malt whiskey. So that's going to be a great kuier at the Riverville Boutique Hotel. That's in Waterfall Estate, Equestrian Estate, if you do not know. That is something to play for, boys.
Yeah, absolutely, Mazzo. Great prizes.
Yeah.
I say.
So thanks to Steve
definitely.
for coming on board with Glenfiddich. Killarney is also sponsoring the 4-Ball Alliance for Sunday Series 1. So what that is on Score Capture, we have the side game of 4-Ball Alliance. The guys who win will win a round for themselves. And then, some free golf for you. So thank you very much to Jason Dierikent for coming on board and sponsoring the 4-Ball Alliance for Sunday Series 1. Much appreciated. And then, Steve is not finished. Arrowstone. Arrowstone's also going to be doing some closest to the pins, where bottles of whiskey will be given away, and this will be at selected events. So keep your eye open in the player pack or the information that we send out, so that you know when the Arrowstone closest to the pins will be. Then Strixon have changed it up a bit. For the closest to the pin, instead of getting 2 sleeves of golf balls, we are getting a nice, lovely towel, one of their premier towels that we can hang on our golf bag. You know, these are worth quite a bit, $300-400 for these towels. So this will be great to put on your bags. So soon there's going to be Strixon everywhere. I got the new banners. I got all the sponsored balls today. My garage is full of this stuff. I still need to sort it out. But yes, once again, thank you so much for them coming on board. And there will be more during the year, or as we go. sponsors coming on board. So fantastic. Right, rule changes. You might have seen this. This was on the chat groups and we all discussed this, but we need to put it in writing now so that everybody can understand how we stand and how we see these rules going forward. I'm going to start off. I'm sure you've seen this one, and I like this one. Moving golf ball from stones and tree roots, where a tree root interferes with the lie of a player's balls or ball, or the area of the player's intended swing, relief without penalty is the main one, may be taken under Rule 25.1-1. This is, the ball may be lifted and dropped within a club length and not near the hole. What do you think, boys? I think a meter is a bit much, honestly, because you could basically get out from under a tree and still go around if you move it that much, but that is the rule. What do you think?
Oh, that's a bit generous, huh? 1 meter.
Yeah, Maz, from my side, I think, yes, it is generous, but, I've been on one of those occasions where I actually injured my wrist by hitting a root that I didn't see that was underneath the grass. So, I think from that perspective, if you're close to a root and you can't see a root that's just stuck underneath the grass, it can lead to serious injuries. So I think the meet or the club away or meter away is actually not a bad thing, considering, root you can hurt yourself very badly with root.
And you've got to place the ball away from it. I think the last comment that was under there, you need to confirm with a player. So somebody in your four ball, you've got to call them over and say, listen, this is where I'm sitting. Happy for me to move it, because if you're in the trees and people see you randomly moving the ball around, that's also, it's not great. So you need to call someone over and they need to say, yes, I agree, you can move it off this big root or these stones. I agree, you don't like hitting holes out of your golf clubs. They're expensive, so let's just avoid that, because you're probably not going to gain too much from it anyway. Anybody else want to say something to that, Rich?
Yeah, I think just as long as you're not improving your line too much, I think that's the one risk, that people will start to utilize it to improve their line into the greens and whatever it might be. But I think the last thing that you said there was important, Matt. It's always, you've got playing partners for a reason, because you're not only playing against them, but you're playing with them, and it has to be dealt with fairly.
100%. The next rule.
Rich, sorry, Matt. But Rich, didn't you see the fine print in the rules? It said it's for everybody except anybody called Fricky.
Yeah, I saw it.
And it applies to everyone besides Sunday too.
Yes.
Okay.
At Eye of Africa, yes. The next one, the bunkers. Right, this is there. When a player's ball is lying in the bunker, the player may take free relief once by placing it to the original ball or within 6 inches of the original ball, basically. So if you're in a footprint like this, because we know this day and age people don't rake bunkers, or you're in like a swell of sand because they haven't raked it, you can place it just outside. 6 inches is not a lot. Donnie knows more about 6 inches than anyone else, so you'll know exactly how much to place it. And again, you need to confer with somebody in your four ball. Correct? Hey, this is in a footprint. Happy? And it's not it's just outside the footprint. Questions?
Yeah, it's like, I think discretion will definitely be there as well. It's like the guys can't move it too far away, because I do believe, if you think about golfers now lately, it's like most golfers have become a little bit lazy, and that was due to COVID, where the guys came into the bunkers, played out of there, and not fixing bunker shots or rakes and anything. So I think definitely that's a good rule, because that's unfairly punished, I would say.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There is the question of the terrible bunkers that we do get on golf courses, but unfortunately that's just the way it is. Don't hit them in there. If there's water in it, then or if it's GUR, we'll have to see on the day. But most of them are in play. So yes, just remember, we are all playing. The afternoon field on a Sunday is for us. So if there's an unraked bunker, it's our fault. So the guys going up front, make sure, just rake it for someone else. If you see there's a mess and you're already in that bunker, then just clean it up. Okay, 2 more rules that I just want to quickly go through. You might have seen this. There was a bit of a debate about maximum 3-putt rule. This is for social golf. This is not competition golf. Because we are playing individual stuff with points, and the hole must be completed until no points can be scored. So this is not applicable to us if you think it is. So if you're going to come to any one of us and say, yeah, but I can pick up after 3 putts, I'm going to say no, because you double stroke a par 3 and your 5 for 2 is not going to happen if you hit it on 1 and then you 3 putt and take your 2 points. Correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so we have no issues with that. And then finally, I did see this rule. Some people were talking about it, but this is not applicable to us, Donnie.
Sorry, Maz, like my screen is a bit frozen here. But I think that's the 18 club rule one that you're
That's
you're
it.
talking
18
about.
clubs in the bag. This is not applicable to us.
Yeah, no, so it's like just before the show started, I went onto the RNA app, and it still shows that maximum clubs allowed in the bag is 14 clubs. That's a rule that got changed in it's one of the golf associations in America that's basically trying that out to have 18 clubs in the bag. But yeah, according to RNA rules, it's still 14.
Let's ask a quick question. Is what extra 4 clubs are you going to put in? Are you going to have 2 drivers? You're going to have a draw bias and a fade bias driver. Like, what extra clubs are you going to put in?
Mazza, I can answer this one for Donnie. I know he will have 3 extra putters.
One for long putts, mid putts, and short putts.
Exactly.
There we go.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just going to come. I think guys will, I think those guys will have more like sort of a 3-wood, 5-wood, and a 3-4 hybrid. That's, if it was me, that's where I would get the extra club. Instead of having a 4-wood, I'll have a 3-5 and a 4 hybrid and a 3 hybrid. So yeah.
Getting old in your old age, eh?
Anything to get the ball up in the air.
Yeah, Louis Jen says, I broke my 4-iron because of a root, and that's exactly why that is there. So we don't want to see that happening. Kira says, I just say get rid of the bunkers and the trees. I'm sure that is possible. Thanks, Kira. Thanks for watching. Wayne says, agree for the fact that not damaging clubs also prevent injury. And can you imagine Wayne? He hits one little thing and then he's out for the season because of his weak wrists. So let's not do that. I hope you're well, Wayne. I hope your wrists are recovering nicely. So those are the rules. There was a lesson, a golf tip lesson that I saw during the week, and I thought, sure, this could not be better explained, people. Although it is the student is interesting, but just listen to this.
From P2, 3, 4 up, that you're extending. And that's extending. Then from there, we get a little hip depth. This side goes back there. So that would be forward bend to 1, 2, even 3, which we don't want. We want extension of the spine right there. And then the hip depth turns over there. A little bit of lateral shift there, coupled with rotation. So it's shift and turn with right side lateral bend there. I want to leave this out in 7, 8, 9. The head stays back, spine extends as the head stays back. And for
yes. That makes sense. That dog is stretching so nicely. And you think, oh man, that's how you do it. You don't have to do like a frickie and get through the belly or anything. You must extend.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. Okay. It's time to reveal the shootout. The shootout is coming this Sunday. Who will be the winner? Okay, I don't mean to go there, but who will be the winner?
That's me. Yeah, I'll be the winner.
You be the winner. All right, everybody. So, during the week, or last week, I had asked the guys, the captains, to get together and to put their pairings together and put their matches up together and send them through to me so I could put this all together and we can discuss it. So just to remind you what is happening is AM, we've got Sunday 1 versus Sunday 2. That's Richard versus Flicky, and then we've got Thursday series versus the Barbarians, Jean-Ray versus Donnie. Then we move on to the PM, and this is straight away, and it's going to be, it's coming, I promise you. It was coming. Let me try again. The PM is Barbarian teams versus Sunday 2 and Thursday series versus Sunday series 1. Okay. We start really early, boys. 6:20 is the first tee off. So we're moving. So we really, it's going to be one of those times, only times in the year that you really have to get to a golf course before 6 o'clock so that we can get our carts and we can put our things together and our picnic baskets and get ready to go play. We've had 2 years ago, we sat outside the gate and made a hell of a noise because the security didn't open it in time and everybody was blasting out their music at 5:45 and they loved it. So I think they learned after that there's 40 guys sitting outside. Let them in. So just remember, try get there a little earlier. Aim for at least later 6 so that you can get to your team. We can try to do team photos. You can have a putt. The driving range, I'm not so sure. The driving range might be open for the later tee off guys, but the 6:20, I'm not so sure they're going to get time. But you can chip and putt. Okay, so those are the small things. And when we are done, please stick around so we can do the announcements. The virtual is Sunday 1 versus Barbarians and Sunday 2 versus the Thursday series. So it's 12 matches. Remember, you're playing highest points as well. You're collecting it. So you have to finish all 18 holes. So don't walk off after you've won your team match because you're not going to have your points. That doesn't help you. And then those are secrets still, so that at the end we know who is going to, it's a surprise when we announce it. There is a way to put it on score capture, but we decided not to, so don't let us say, but we can put it on score capture because we want that surprise element. I just want to remind you of the teams. There's been a change to your team, Jandre.
Yes, I've had Reds falling out, unfortunately. But luckily we had Lucky Janssen coming in. That's looking really forward to this coming weekend.
And Luki was very excited when he got the message. Are you available for the shootout? I could hear him through the text message jumping up and down. With you, Mark, Barnes, Jamie, Gerard, Jacob, Peter, Wayne, Simon, Jacques Ravenstein, and Lyle Langley. Sunday 1 hasn't changed. As far as I know, I'm just going to put this up here quickly so you can browse your eyes through it and see the players that are going to be paired together. There is Sunday 1. Sunday 2 has not changed as far as I know with Frikki's team. So it has not changed. Hold on a second. There it is. Jan Venter, Stefan Lombard, Clint Broders, Ryan Jensen, Brian Owen, Graham de Villiers, Squibers, Kuman, Cornel Erasmus, Kero O'Connell, Gerard Snyman, and Martin Tauter. There has been a change in your team, Donnie.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Uncle Trev got an injury and he won't be able to make it. And we decided to go with Paul Ricketts. So he's been a veteran of all the shootout events, so it was good to give him the nod to come and play.
But I'm hoping that he's on an upswing of form so that he can contribute to the Barbarians team. Are we ready for the pairings? Right, Jandre, here's your pairings and I want to know why you paired these guys together.
Mas, to be honest, there's not a lot to it. If you saw our handicaps, it's all basically quite low. I think there's only one guy before Lucky came in that was above a 10. So I just basically asked the guys, who do you want to play with? And that is the team we came up with.
Nice. I like the pairings. So good luck to your pairings. I'll show you who they will play who next soon. Sunday 1 pairings. Richard, take us through your thoughts.
Yeah, I was very much looking at the handicaps and seeing how we can have one high, one low together. We had quite a nice combination of fairly low handicaps and fairly mid to high handicaps. So we had a look at that. And then also just looking at some personalities. We've got a team full of debutants, so 6 or 7 of the guys haven't played before. So it's just try and pair up guys who can help each other around the course and hopefully come away with some wins.
Nice. Also, great pairings. The guys will spend 36 holes together, so be nice. Sunday 2 pairings, Frikkie.
Yeah, Mazo, basically the same as Richard. I mean, we've been doing some captaincies and vice captaincies for quite some years. So basically exactly what Richard says. Obviously pairings, personalities, handicaps being taken into account. and you're also preempting what the other guys will team up. So I think we were quite successful in having around 60% of our predictions correct. So yeah, I think it's looking good for us at this stage, and yeah,
Nice.
looking forward to this.
Donnie, your Barbarians team, or
Yes.
Pairings, looks like this. I promise you it looks like this. It's coming. There we go.
We're getting Maz, I must say, it's the same as Rich and with Ricky, handicaps does play a factor, to try and get a high, low type of scenario handicap in. But the big thing for me was also who could do, from a pairing perspective, play well with each other. And, it's like that did take a little bit more preference compared to the handicaps. But I think the teams are going to be very good. They're going to feed off each other and they can help each other throughout the whole day.
Just talk about the Donnie Sorrel. So you literally got 25 shots difference between yourself and Sorrel.
So I think Sorrel's the dark horse. I believe Sorrel can play well, but if he's managed correctly out on the course, I think that handicap's going to be a killer. And so that's why I'm putting myself with Sorrel, because I think it's like with the right guidance and telling him what shots to play and not to play, I think he can be a fricky destroyer.
So Donnie, you're going to manage him. I mean, you didn't get that right with me. I mean, how's that going to work?
You were a lost cause. Look at you. You've got wings coming out to ears. So I just had to give up.
Nice wings. Okay.
Thanks, man.
We're ready for the AM matches, right? Sunday 1 versus Sunday 2. So basically they're WhatsApping each other and say, okay, these two are going to take on who of your team? And then they say, okay, you're going to take on this one. And then they choose, and this is what they all came up with. Right, boys, I'll leave it to you to go through these. Team 1, teeing off at 0622. Q.
Yeah, so let me quickly go through it. It's Louis and Jandre basically against Janneman and Kobus. Richard, you can do the second pairing.
When Fricky put himself and the G out, I said myself and Peter need to take them on. I need an easy game to start off the morning with. I thought that would be a good way to go. So it's, I think captain against captain is also a nice way to start the morning off.
Yeah, and Mazo, I think he was very smart with that because I did lose to him previously, and I also did lose against Peter Zak, so that's definitely in my mind. So well done, Richard, on that one. The third pairing we've got Kunrad and Ian Holshausen against Brian Owen, and again Brian Owen, or is it Kettle or Colonel, So looking forward to that. I think it's going to be a lacquer match there. I do think that our drinking pairing there would top the Kuna,
Okay, that's why you've gone for it. Then Team 4?
Team 4, we've got Shandon and Edwin, I think, was it Stephen? Who's it there? Playing against Graham and Martin. I think also two guys who haven't played before on Eye of Africa in the shootout. So hopefully with a little bit of inexperience they can have some fun out there and put Big G and Martin to the sword.
Are you telling me Graham hasn't played the shootout after all these years? Edwin.
Shandon hasn't played.
And Shandon. Oh, I'm sorry. I skipped your head. Then Team 5.
Yeah, we've got Steven Saunders and Oki Brits there. We put them against Stats Guy and Mr. Financial Manager. I think, it's going to be a calculated pairing there. So, looking forward to that one.
And finally,
we've got, again, a pairing who haven't played too much on the shootout, a debut team. I think it's going to be a good last pairing. They can bring in that last point that we will need to win the shootout.
And as you noticed, between Team 1 and Team 2, there is a gap because the other series we're going to be looking at, Thursday and Barbarians, slot in at 6:30 so that we can slot them like this. So that when we do the turnaround for PM, we're just changing two guys. Right, are we ready? The next two guys. These are the pairings. Thursday Barbarians, take us away.
Andre, jy kan die eerste ene gaan.
Yeah, Jaco and Jacques playing Maz and Tian is what I've got here. And I've got the vice captain going out first to get us those first points. I think is very important.
Team 2.
All right. So Team 2, we've got Wayne and Lyle taking on myself and Sorrel. Like I said, it's like Sorrel's going to be the the kilo with his handicap there. So that was the thinking.
I think the obvious pairing with us there was Simon and Peter, because apparently Peter can't play with anybody else. So we put Peter with he's playing against Jaco and Hansi. But Simon is on good form, I hear, so that's fantastic news going on to the shootout.
Yeah, but his handicap has also dropped, so that might be Achilles heel. But yeah, so team 4, we've got Lukey obviously and Mark Borrogero, taking on the runners up in the team match plays like with Neville and Mr. Ho.
Yes, Gerard and Jamie is going to be an interesting pairing for us. I remember when just after I actually won the Thursday series, Gerard came up to me straight and said that he wants to play with Jamie. So I paired them, and I think them playing against Pickers and Paul, it's going to be a great game.
Finally.
Yeah, definitely. And then finally we've got Jandra and Barent. I don't know why you chose Barent, as a partner. Because I think Bobby and Leon is going to win milkshakes with you guys.
Like your milkshakes.
As you can see, Team 6 is 750, so you got a bit of time to kill. Sorry, just the way it is. You wanted to tee off last. No, you're going to tee off last. All right, then we move to the PM matches. So it's Thursday. So this all swaps. Thursday versus Sunday 1. So this is how it happens. Jaco and Jacques is taking on Louis Gerber and Chandra.
Right.
And then Richard, you take on.
Obviously, we've got a tough match against Wayne and Lyle. I think we're up to it. It's interesting to see how it's all worked out with the swaps. I think we didn't really have much control over the second set of matches, but it just looks like there's going to be some good matches out there, some tough matches out there.
Yes, going pretty quickly because it's the first time I'm seeing it now. I think that Simon game against Koen and Ian, I think is going to be a good one.
Ian's going to be a scratch by the time he starts playing.
I'd like to have a quiet word with him on the side, just to relax the good golf until Sunday, rather just keep the handicap where it is for now. But he's very excited about the shootout, and I think he's going to be just as much of a weapon as Sorrel is for the Barbarians. He's going to be a bit of a weapon for us on the day.
Cool.
So you guys say you only have one weapon. I've got 12 weapons. So good luck with your one weapons, eh?
Yeah.
What are you?
You go weapon and the other one.
Ricky, if you've got 12 weapons, it means are you setting out and the other one's coming in?
No, I'm the weapon as well. You said it,
The main weapon.
Yeah.
This is the other PM. Myself and
Yeah,
Tion.
Meso, so it's obviously you and Tion against Janeman and Kobus. I think that's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully Kobus brought his A game with chirping you guys.
And this team
then for
too.
some reason it just worked out perfectly that me and Donnie is going to face each other now. So it's on a team and then on a captaincy side. So I really hope that OG Man has brought his A game against Sarah, because I know that I'm going to whip O'Donnell's ass there. Then we've got Jaco and Hansi against Brian, Owen and Kero. Again, I think this is going to be a strong one, because that four-ball is probably going to have a few drinks halfway. Kevin and Neville against Graham and Martin. I do think our team is stronger on that one. Vickers and Paul against the Stats guys. Stats guys, just watch Paul there in the rough. He normally places there, so just check there. And Bobby and Leon against Stefan and Cornell. I honestly think that's going to be a tough one for us, because Leon and Bobby monstering the tee shots. If Stefan can match them, I think we do have a very good chance on that one. But out of our 12 weapons, we probably have that one not so much in the bag.
Great. Remember, I'll send this to everybody, so everybody knows who did not watch. What happens is the virtual sides, the teams that do not play each other. So this is what it's looking like. Frikkie is playing Jandre. These guys also chose who they will be playing, which player will be playing who, Sunday 2 and Thursday.
Yeah, Mazo, if I could just take this, I think me and Jandre, we worked out that it was basically us four, me, Jan, Barent and Jandre that were left. And I really wanted to have a milkshake, but I thought, it's better to have captaincies against each other. So it worked out fine for us to get the captaincies. And then, Clint Broeders against Mark Borrogero, Stefan Lombard against JJ, Martin Tauter against Simon Meyer. I think that's going to be a lekker virtual game. Brian Owen, Jamie Sherry. Quibus against Jock. Yes, I think Jock has got some trouble there with his 3-2 handicap there. Cornel Erasmus, easy game against Peter Prince, definitely. Graham de Villiers, tight one against Lyle, but it's going to be good. Ryan and Gerard Gerber, I think that's going to be a tight one for Ryan, but he can pip him. Easy game for Kero there, and Gerard Snyman, easy game against Owena.
Yeah, very confident. Frankie, very confident.
The other boys, I'm just hearing Frikkie being very, very confident. You know, it's like it's going to be quite funny to see where he ends up, and it's not going to be first.
We're going to have to revisit these calls that he made.
Yeah, I think we need to play them all in and just go.
Let's
be on the highlight show for 2023.
All I know is like the few small trees that Frikkie's going to be underneath at Eye of Africa. There's not going to be any relief for any roots or stones or whatever.
Yo, I can tell you one thing. If you're under a tree at Eye of Africa, that ball is out of bounds, my friend. For sure. Let's have a look at the other team. So Richard's taken on Bobby van der Spey. Who else?
Yeah. Again, I think Donnie and I had a pretty similar strategy with trying to put handicaps against handicaps. I think one or two didn't work out exactly as I wanted them to. So I think Steve Saunders has got quite a tough one against Hansi with the handicap difference there. But I think, in general, I think the handicap versus handicap is going to be quite tough on Eye of Africa.
Yeah, I think from my side, Richard had it spot on. You know, we tried to just get the guys in the same pairings, you know, to make it quite nice matchups. You know, at the end of the day, you know, like a single figure playing against a 15, you know, he's going to struggle for all that. So I think the matchups are quite good and interesting. It's going to see. I think it's going to be close.
It's very kind of you, gentlemen, trying to get the scores to even like that. Then it's going to be even tighter. Very nice. I like this whole, you know, team spirit.
I was like,
yeah.
Jandra, I don't think we did it, eh?
No. I actually I had my list, and when he threw somebody, I just threw the next guy. I just when it came out, I just said I wanted to play Frick, and I didn't really care about the rest, but we'll sort it out as we go along.
And this is what we're playing for, gentlemen. The Shootout trophy, the shared trophy. Let's not forget. Anything we want to say about Eye of Africa? I think everybody, well, just 99% of the players have played there. We all know what to expect. It's a tricky course, but hang on. You'll have your runs. There are sections in the golf course that you can score well. There might be one or two holes that bite you. I know there's always a select few holes that always bite me, for sure, like the third hole.
Yeah.
They need to tear that thing down. Just let it grow.
I think one thing, Naz, just to confirm, while we're all sitting around the table, I've been asking you guys to draw me pictures to make sure that I'm on the same page as you. But the grass there, the rough, it's all lateral hazard, is that right?
Red stakes.
Red stakes.
So if you hit it away, you go where it went in, you drop. Keep going.
Drop point of entry.
Point of entry.
Point of entry. Otherwise, we're going to be there all day. We can't be reloading. It's just not going to happen. We need to play fast, boys. We need to get it done. We're not the only people on the golf course, but we are pretty much the only people on the golf. We've taken over.
Mazzo, just from a question side, I know some matches do end or tend to end early. You know, do you want the guys to go back in or try and play the round or finish the round when the games are done? What would you want the guys to do?
Who would like to cuck him out now?
Yeah. You're playing virtual games, man.
Okay. Well, sorry.
All Donnie's teams pick up. That's fine.
Pick up. Donnie's teams can pick up.
Yeah, simply.
The simple answer, Donnie, is we're playing IS points. You need to finish the holes. It's not always been like that.
But my guys are going to have enough points in any case to pick up the last two.
Guys, we talked about that Doff answer. This is a Doff question. Remember Donnie Doff?
Hey, no question is done, buddy.
And if you think that you are going to hit your next PMT time with no problem, I promise you, you're wrong. We've done this many times, and every time when you look at the thing and you say, geez, we're teeing off in half an hour, we've got 2 holes to go, it's always tight, so you got to keep going. There will be you'll be lucky if you get to play 18 holes and you can sit down and have something to eat. You'll be very lucky. Please be aware that once the first guys, they're going to be waiting for you on the tee box. So once we do the swap, get there so that you guys can go off. We don't want to have gaps, because what happens with gaps in the field, there's other people that fill those gaps and then mess everything up. So we need to, we know how it's all about. Okay, just to finish, so that's the shootout. So if we have any questions, your captains are there, you can ask them. I just want to quickly give you an update on the singles and the teams. This is how it looks so far. We need to, we've got probably another 2 weeks to get this done. There, if your name is, there's now 29 players who've entered the singles. Chandra, I don't see your name, but you need to play some Sunday games if you're going to play with us.
Yes, John, I'll be joining Sunday Series 1 this year.
Awesome.
And try a few, maybe try my hand in the singles as well.
So I'm going to put you down for this once I'm done.
And Donnie, Speedy.
His name's not there.
My name is not there. My name is not there yet.
Not yet. You think Donnie thinks that I'm his golf PA and I just throw him wherever. But what if I forget?
No, I haven't given an answer yet to say I'm gonna play.
Cock, man, you're playing.
He's focusing on the doubles with his new partner.
Maz, you know, I like to just cut it just on the end, like cut line, you know. So I like to do that.
I don't like
to do that. He's not gonna have a chance, eh?
I don't like to do that.
I saw Sorrel on the list of available players. I think that's what he's going for this weekend. It's like a trial run.
Sorrel's been snaffled by someone else. Somebody else down here, under me, who's trying to get him. This handicap thing. Sorrel, you're very popular. You might as well have a good bidding fee. Right. Teams. Let's just complete this with what the teams look like. I'm sorry if your name is missing. Donnie, you are not on here either, because I don't know who you're playing.
Sorry, Donnie.
But there it is. Ballsack. I think you said it like that. Barnes and Ian is a new team. Beast from the East, Lyle and Kero. So Kero's dropped Richard. He said it's enough. It's not good enough anymore.
Wasn't good enough for him.
Happy Hook is 2. That's the sequel. Myself and Grant trying to get past around a 16. 4 T's. Fats and Hanu. Fatties and Monies. Fricky's the Fatties, and I'm sure Gerard is the Monies.
Exactly, yes.
Bogey Bros is Graham and his brother Vimpy is joining us this year. Thank you, Vimpy. Back, Whiskey and Oros. Yaku and Louis. Predators, the runner-ups are back. Kevin and Neville. Sultan of Swing are back. And I know Lukey's watching. Lukey, I'm going to do my best to get you into a nice group, because I know you suckled last year with the guys that you were. So I'll do my best to get you into a lekker group. Chicks with Sticks are back. Jacomin and Juanita. 3-putt Kings. Hansi and Rudolph are back. Steady Eddie, the champions. Obviously, they're going to be trying to defend their title. Second page. Thunderballs. Flicky Stain and Leon Duplessis. New team. Red Devils. New team. Cornel Erasmus and Koos van Zel. Cornel has dropped his partner from last year. Hanru Skuman and Reichard Viljoen. They are joining us. I need a name from them. Pat Denbar. Pranay and Dana Peramel. MMWC, Ryan and Louis are joining up again. Master Debaters, or Masturbators, however you want to read it. Moritz Malherbe and Stefan Lombard. Ketty and Clipper back. T to Green is new. Vanna Lebowski and Martin Tata. They've been playing many practice games. I've been involved in 2 of them and lost both. So that's something to look out for. Putman Bar back. Mitchell and Carl. Steve Saunders and Sorrel Stain. So you want to know who snaffles Sorrel Stain? Well, Steve Saunders has snaffled Sorrel Stain. So we can look to see how they do. Bogey Boys is Robert and Rakesh. Odd Fellas, Ashley Herman and Granville Williams. I got one more page. Then that's names needed for Yaku Swanepoel and Stefan and Ritz. Richard Stewart and Peter Zach. They are teaming up in the shootout. So they're going to keep going. Wayne Jensen, PJ Aman. And Yaku Jacobs and Kobus Skuman. So there we go. So let's see if we can...
Mazo?
Yes.
You can add myself and Leon Oosthuizen on spot number 29.
Ah, okay. So that's
Pay and then we'll add you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gents, we appreciate it. We know that December, January, Charles Cash. So thank you for getting the shootout sorted. We'll be a bit lenient on the team and singles, just so that you can get your reserves back together. But Fricky will be on you eventually. Growl. Boys, that's it from my side. We've done the show. We've done the shootout preview. We look forward to Sunday. We'll send out all the information. That's it. I want to just see. So I've been so busy going through graphics. I haven't really looked at the comments. It looks like a pick on Donny Knight. For sure, it's always a pick on Donny Knight.
My shoulders are broad, I can take it.
All right. Well, the guys who are watching can see the comments, so I don't have to go crazy. Jacques Gravenstein says, I'll be there by 6. You betcha, I'll be there by 6. We're going to leave nice and early. Ooh, I clicked on something and now it's away. Where was that? I don't know. I'm just going to say goodbye. How do I get rid of this comment? Oh, this one. There we go. Nope.
Just whatever, man.
No, I'm just putting in things. Go away. Okay. Gents, thanks for watching. It is there. We'll be back next Wednesday so we can go through the shootouts and we can build up to the Thursday series at Wingate and at Parkview. Remember to book your spots because once we get halfway through the month, we need to open February and we need you to use your free rounds, get rid of them so that we can open February and then it starts again. And then we're up and running. Gents, captains, all the best.
Go Mavericks.
Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, guys.